If you're watching this vid, you clicked on the right guy. I went from skinny to skinny fat to lean to fat to where I'm at right now. And going through all these stages has taught me so much about diet and nutrition. I could basically help you no matter what stage you're at. And after changing your physique so much, I feel like I live two lives. The way I get treated is so much different now. But let's start from the beginning. Growing up, I barely ate any food. I was just a skinny kid, and it got to a point where counselors at school were genuinely worried about me. I was the only kid who was not eating. I wouldn't eat breakfast, I didn't like school lunch, and the counselors would urge me at least eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I hated peanut butter. Sometimes I only ate the jelly because they wanted me to, but yeah, I wasn't really hungry. Another time, this counselor thought I wasn't eating because of religious purposes, so she handed me cookies on the side. My first meal would be like at 3 after school, and my mom would just cook me something basic like chicken or rice because I wasn't really a fan of the traditional food that was served in my home, if I'm gonna keep it real. And then later in the day, I'd probably just have a bag of chips or something like that. If anything, I was drinking more calories than I was eating. I was just drinking a bunch of Gatorade, Capri Suns, and things like that. And honestly, I hated being skinny. I literally took these photos here. I was like, one day I'm gonna fill out these sleeves. I hated my arms. I hated how I looked. And I hated when people did this. I was so insecure about my arms. They were my biggest insecurity. 80, 90-degree weather, I would keep my hoodie on. I did not want to take off my hoodie. So eventually, I decided to make a change. And this is one of my first photos when I was hitting the gym in my dad's garage. I started going to the gym, but I realized I needed to eat more. And when I was in the gym, I was not consistent at all. I'd be going like once every month. And I swear my workout routine was just bench press and preacher curls. That's it. So basically, since I was skinny, I stopped being picky. I started eating lunch food. I started eating the traditional food at home. I just wanted to eat as much as possible. I thought picking up the fork would mean I'm just gonna get big. And honestly, a lot of people were just throwing around the word victim weight and stuff like that. So I was just eating so much. But then eventually, it just caused me to become skinny fat. I was eating, but I wasn't really training consistently or training hard. So it was just like all that food went to my gut and I stayed skinny. At around 15 is when everything started to change. I started cooking my own food. I started dialing in on the gym. I was going consistently. I would not miss a day. I didn't care if I was sick. If I could move, I was in the gym. And this is where I just literally ate eggs for breakfast, chicken before the gym. I did not know what I was doing. I just was eating clean and training hard as hell. I became obsessed with it. Every push day I was benching, and I'd be PRing every other day. I was benching 275 at this time, and despite the changes I went through, from being skinny to skinny fat to lean at 15, getting good strength, benching 275, I still looked at myself as that skinny kid. I did not think I was strong, I was big whatsoever. I hated the way I looked, and I wanted more. I wanted bigger numbers. I just wanted to get bigger. I was not happy with where I was at. So I decided I needed to bulk. And this was not no ordinary bulk. I was dirty bulking. And I'm telling you, bro, this was one of the worst mistakes I ever made. I was eating outside food every day. McDonald's, Wendy's. I literally remember going with my friends to McDonald's every weekend, and we would get the 12 box of cookies and we would eat that every weekend. I was like, I just needed to get big. Bro, I was putting on more fat than anything. There was no muscle whatsoever. I thought I'd get big if I just eat as much calories as possible. And the fastest way to eat as much calories is to go outside and eat unhealthy, cheap food. So I was just eating so much bullshit. And yeah, I ended up benching 315, so at least I got that. I got it on my second attempt, and honestly, that day was just crazy. But I just gained too much fat. Like, I remember looking at my face, it was not what I wanted to see. Too much fat here, too much fat on my love handles. I just hated the way I looked. It got to a point where I was getting compliments in the gym every session. I remember getting roid accusations because honestly, I was progressing so fast. I'd be thinking I'm on roids too, but to be fair, it was with reps, and I gained way more fat than I needed, but it was honestly crazy. I remember one specific time this gym uncle was like, Rayon, I would hate to train with you. You're ridiculously strong. Like, I would have to take off all these plates. And honestly, my ego was getting boosted, and I felt like I was one of the strongest guys there. Not because I put up the most numbers, but the numbers I was hitting for my body weight, I was 150 benching 315. That's double my body weight. That's more than double. And no one else was doing that. So I just decided to go on a cut. I stopped eating fast food completely. Like, I literally don't remember the last time I was eating fast food. I was probably eating fast food like once every 2 months versus every day. And that once every 2 months would be like with friends after a basketball session. I literally was not eating fast food. Funny thing is, those fast food people, they knew me. I'd be going in there so consistently, they literally knew my name. I'd walk in, they'd be like, oh, it's Rayon again. Because my gym was here, Wendy's was here, and it was literally like a 1-minute walk. So I'd be in there every day. And don't even get me started on the app. The app had so many codes, like, bro, it's basically free food. And they also gave me like this Wendy's card, like free Frosties for a year. So bro, I was eating good. And after a month, I visited again. Like, this was like after my cut. So like, I'd be going there like once every 2 months. They were like, Rayon, where you been? And I was like, yeah, I'm just on a diet. And they're like, oh yeah, we could tell. And yeah, bro, they literally knew my name. That's not something I'm proud of. We used to make jokes about it, but looking back, bro, it literally got to a point, like, I was there every day, bro. And the biggest change was my diet. I started making my own food, my own recipes. When I said I was cooking food before, that was just eggs. But now, I seriously locked in and was cooking my own food, my own meals. Don't even get me started on cardio, bro. I was doing hours of incline treadmill every day, 15 incline 4-speed. I remember doing 75 minutes every day. I would not leave until it said I burned 1,000 calories. I would not feel fulfilled with myself. I needed to burn 1,000. Like, I wanted to speed run this. I basically went on an aggressive cut. I remember like taking breaks in between the 75 minutes because my treadmill had like this pause button. I'd take like 5-minute breaks in between it because my legs were so sore. I was doing this every day, but my legs started to adjust to it, and I was doing basketball, bro. I wasn't doing both. Like if I would do one, I wouldn't do the other, but I was just doing cardio every day. I got lean fast, but I wanted to get leaner, leaner, and leaner. And when I was benching 315, I was comparing myself to people like Larry Wheels or the Trent Twins. But once I was like cutting down, I was comparing myself to people like John Skywalker, David Late. I just wanted to get more aesthetic. I did not care about my strength anymore. And for the first time, I was actually happy with the way I looked, how my face looked, how my physique looked. I wasn't just happy about how much numbers I was hitting, what I got on bench. I was actually happy for the first time. And this is when I started to get the most hate in my whole journey. I was kind of confused because I was finally starting to look better and people were hating the most. The unks that were congratulating me on my bench and my strength, they saw me posing and they're like, this guy only comes here to pose. He poses more than he works out. I was so confused. Y'all were just supporting me the other day. Mind you, I'm making content. So I'm like here with my tripod in the corner. I'm making sure I don't affect anyone. But finally I started getting attention on my physique and not just on my strength. But like I was getting so much hate too. So it wasn't just like good support, it was like people hating too. I remember one time I was posing, through my headphones I could hear these people like, why is this guy posing? He thinks he's a model, but it's like, I'm just making content, bro. But honestly, I don't care what anyone else thinks. This is when I was finally the most happy with my physique and not just my strength for the first time. So let me go back to the actual point of this video. How do you train for aesthetics? How do you build an aesthetic physique? Whether you're starting off skinny fat, or fat, the whole process isn't exactly the same, but the principles are. If you're skinny, your main goal is to put on muscle on your frame. And I know it could be a little bit demotivating, being skinnier than everyone around you, but you need to trust the process. Don't just be like, I'm gonna get as big as possible, I'm a dirty bulk, I'm gonna eat all these calories. No. However many meals you're eating, just add one more on top of that. Do not need to track your calories. Just focus on going to the gym consistently, training with intent, and training hard, training heavy, progressive overload. Don't just be like, after your sets, doom scrolling or training like this. You need to actually care. If you want to become the person you want to be and actually get bigger, you need to train like you mean it, like you actually want to get somewhere with this. The skinny fat stage was probably the stage where I struggled the most. Honestly, did not know what to do. I was fat here, but I was skinny here. I didn't know if I should go on a cut or if I should just bulk up. But the answer is, do not cut. I know you have a stomach here, but if you cut, you're just going to end up the skinny kid. You don't want to be there. This is where I would recommend cooking your own food. I mean, growing up in this brown household where I'm eating traditional food that is not really healthy for you, it's kind of hard unless you're really controlling what you put in your body. Please do not fall for the propaganda. Protein cereal, protein this, protein that. Just have some eggs in the morning. Give your body real food. Chop up some potatoes, put them in the air fryer, season them up, and cook that. French fries. I mean, this is what I eat every day. And please do not set unrealistic expectations for yourself. I know when you're skinny fat, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm just gonna start doing all this cardio. I'm gonna start having a perfect diet. No, don't do that to yourself, please. And work on your abs. I'm tired of people being like, oh, if you just start eating cleaner, your abs are gonna pop. No, your abs are a muscle group. You need to train your abs. They're just like every other muscle. Imagine just being like, oh, I want my biceps to grow, I'm just gonna start eating more. No. Personally, with me, I started training abs every day. It gave me progress, but you're not supposed to do that. Maybe train them like every 2 days. Let them rest just like any other muscle group. And my ab exercise that I do is decline sit-ups. So I'm on a decline, my legs are up, I'm holding a weight, I'm going up. After I'm done, just go to failure with it. After I'm done, I do some Russian twists. I work on my obliques, and I'm tired of people saying, oh, you're gonna have a blocky waist. Fuck that shit. I'm sorry, bro, my waist has stayed the same. If anything, I got leaner and my waist got smaller. Do not listen to that propaganda. And I think abs can make or break your physique. Like, I had a good physique, but I just didn't have abs. And girls would genuinely swipe up and be like, where are your abs? I could put a picture here, and honestly, that shit hurt. Imagine working on your body for years just for girls to swipe up and be like, where are your abs? I vividly remember one girl was like, yo, you have a good physique, but you just don't have the abs. And that shit gave me all the motivation I needed to get to where I'm at right now. Definitely, if you're skinny fat, do your cardio. You don't gotta do what I did, 75 minutes of incline treadmill, but please just go on walks, you know. And if you take care of your diet, train hard, gain muscles, do your cardio, your physique is gonna change. You just need to give yourself time. Don't be like me. Don't try to rush the process, go on all these aggressive bulks or cuts. It's not worth it. Because when you go on an aggressive cut, you can tank your hormones. If you go on an aggressive bulk, you can just gain so much fat. Just do it the proper way and be patient. This is not a race. This is a marathon. You need to give yourself time. And if you have more body fat than you want, this is probably the most simplest one. You just need to go on a calorie deficit. Continue working out. Don't just be like, oh, I need to go on a cut, I'm gonna lose weight, no muscles. No, you need to gain muscles. Continue training, continue working out first. Continue doing cardio. What helped me is cardio that's actually fun. If you don't like doing treadmill, you don't gotta do treadmill. Go on a walk on the park, go play some basketball, do something that you enjoy. Now, I've told you all to work out, whether you're skinny, fat, or fat, but I haven't told you what specific muscles to hit for the aesthetic physique. You want that Nightwing, that Spider-Man, that superhero aesthetic look. And this type of physique is what females actually desire, not no male gaze like overly bulky, Balkan, like ogre build. And you want to just focus on the muscles that give you that V shape, your shoulders, your lats. And this is not really a part of the V, but this is gonna help with your midsection, your upper chest, and your abs. And also, you want arms, so you're not just like skinny here and big over here. You need to have a well proportional physique. And if you're gonna hit your muscle groups twice a week, which you should, it's going to be harder to recover. Also, every set you should be trying to, you know, progress to the ultimate goal, that physique you want. And doing all those sets aren't beneficial. Like, your first set should be your heaviest, where you're trying to lift the most, because it's going to be the first set where you're going to get the most out of it. And no, I'm not saying to not warm up. You should warm up, but your warm-ups are not sets. So your first set, the first time you actually lift the weight, it should be as heavy as possible. A tip for your diet is, regardless if you're skinny or fat, you need carbs. Carbs are going to support your workout. And please just eat some rice cakes before the gym. Eat some sort of carbs, and you're going to feel so much better and stronger and get more out of your lifts. Me personally, I feel like my diet was the biggest thing I lacked, and I always try to take it to an extreme. When I was skinny, I barely ate food. I wanted to gain muscle, I ended up eating everything. And when I got lean, I was just relying on cardio for my diet. I was always looking for the fastest way to get the physique I wanted, but it's not about the fastest way. Yo, Ryan, how's the fastest way I gain muscle? Yo, Ryan, how can I get lean as fast as possible? No. It's just about knowing what you need to do and being consistent with it. If I want you to take one thing out of this video, is do not make the mistakes I made. If you're skinny, just build muscle. If you're skinny fat, just build your foundations and improve your eating habits. And if you're carrying more body fat, just make a sustainable calorie deficit for yourself. Continue training and do your cardio. So this is how I went from the skinny to skinny fat to lean to fat to the guy who got obsessed with being lean to finally figuring out, I just want an aesthetic physique. And it's not about copying my split. I'm just helping you figure out what you need to do to get there, and you need to be consistent with it. So thank you guys.